You're very welcome back now. My next guest is a self-confessed surgery addict who has spent £38,000 to date to look like Barbie. She first started transforming her appearance when she was in her 30s and has vowed to keep going until she's in her 80s. Rachel Evans, you're very welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, Elaine. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
It's an amazing and strange story to me why somebody would want to look like Barbie. Did you always have an obsession with the doll growing up?
No, I was called the China doll in high school, and I was bullied for looking very delicate. And I went through different images, and I found myself as a human Barbie in my mid-30s. But I was always called a doll from a very early age.
Yes. In what way a doll did you, and what prompted the actual idea that you would transform yourself into Barbie? Because we see from the picture that we have of you, you look utterly and completely different before all of this.
Yes. So the Barbie transition or transformation started when I started to have cosmetic procedures. My body shape was always like a doll, and people called me Barbie when I bleached my hair blonde in my early 30s. As my hair got longer, people then said, oh, you look like Barbie. And it sort of grew from there kind of organically. But the actual Barbie by Mattel image and the whole message that she has really resonates with me.
What is that message?
It's about being a kind person. You can be anything. And age is just a number for me because I'm approaching my 50th birthday in July. So I was kind of like a late starter with the Barbie image. But it's about also having career goals, being independent. Ken is an accessory to her life. I've never been married. It's about being a strong female, or rather a strong person, because Barbie's very inclusive, irrespective of gender.
When you look at pictures of yourself from before you started this transformation, what do you feel like? Do you recognise it as being you?
No, I have no memory from the previous images. I vaguely remember pictures like that being taken, but I don't associate with them at all. I've kind of blocked them because a lot of those memories with that dark-haired and gothic image, or when I dressed like a boy, it was attached to pain. So I've learned to block that and just live in my Barbie happy place 24/7 switched on.
Yeah, because you have had some tragedy in your life which possibly prompted this. You have a lovely son now who's 19, but he had a twin who was stillborn. Was that a factor in all of this?
Yes, this was the first step that I took towards my Barbie reinvention. So I lost a stillborn twin baby, gave birth to my son's twin. And I just looked in the mirror and said, I'm just going to kill this image off. And it was an inspiration. It was almost like some energy just came in me, and I had a vision of who I was going to be. But it took a while to get there.
Yeah. And did you ever have any therapy or counselling to deal with that loss, or did you use the Barbie persona to get you through it?
Both. I do use the happy place bubble 24/7 switched on as Barbie. But as I approached being more Barbie-like in my early 30s, as my hair got blonder, longer, as I got cosmetic procedures, that was the first 5 years, I think, of my son's childhood when I was in and out of therapy. And I'm a really big advocate to do this.
Yeah, so you have had basically professional help all the way on this. You haven't just decided to go hell for leather and surgery without some psychological backup?
Absolutely no. Long before I even became Barbie, I was in and out of therapy. I've got really old pictures that I don't really see, but people who know me like 15 years ago send me pictures. I'm like, I don't remember that picture being taken. I look miserable, sad, depressed, and I don't want to remember it. So therapy taught me how to, if you like, disassociate, but also learn to go through the stages of like the grief, the acceptance, the guilt, the fear, and there's so many things. But it's something I'm very sort of, forgive me for saying, I'm very American in my approach to things. I I really just put positive vibes. I turn things negative into positive. And even as far back as 2012, I was in CBT therapy just because I love therapy and it makes me more focused.
Yeah. In our previous section of the show, we were actually speaking about Khloe Kardashian. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of her over the last couple of days. She looks like a completely different person than she was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You can perhaps understand why she did what she did?
I do. I am aware of. I watch the show. I watch Keeping Up. I love the Kardashians, and Khloe. I'm very much aware that her face has changed, and I just think if something makes you happy, do it. If you're not hurting anyone, but I think she's been through challenges where enhancing her appearance will help her reinvent a new kind of almost like energy around her, so that she can block any bad experiences. But I'm not really fully aware of everything. You know, you can't always believe what you read, but I know she's been through relationship struggles, and obviously, I can totally relate to that.
Yeah. How do you afford the surgeries that you do? How many have you had to date?
Well, I have two. I'm an entertainer. I've always been an actor and a model. So all my life, I've usually been an entertainer with a second job. And like Barbie, I've had many careers. So I have two jobs. I call it a portfolio career. And when I'm resting, I'm working in my fashion job in Mayfair. I work in a luxury fashion boutique. And that's how I maintain the Barbie lifestyle.
So all your money basically goes into looking like Barbie?
Most of it. You do budget for it. So I didn't have a holiday for 6 years until last year. I don't buy expensive cars. I buy secondhand. I don't have a flash kitchen. There's certain lifestyle adjustments that you can make to prioritize, you know, what you feel you want to spend your money on.
Yeah. And but do you think that perhaps that it is something you will continue doing for the rest of your life? Because at some point, I mean, it must be painful. Have you had like implants or like rhinoplasty or breast implants or things like that? These are all surgical procedures that come with risks.
The risks I research, I've never just jumped in. I've had breast augmentation. Yes, it's painful, but you don't remember it. You do get assessed before you're able to have any surgery, like in any particular situation, the surgeons can refuse. But I've not had any plastic surgery done to my face. I've done it by injectables, which is cosmetic procedures. Yes, it's painful because you're not asleep, but I love the pain. I've had my eyebrows permanently tattooed on, you know, a bit of pain, you know, no pain, no gain. But the medical risk, you know, we've got a high standard in the UK and even abroad. You've got to be careful where you go. So I've always maintained the principle that it's lower risk than going under the knife. So I have this fear of having my nose done by a plastic surgeon because I have this fear of not being able to breathe.
Yeah, well,
so it's been done with injections.
Yeah, that's a very genuine fear for anybody going through these things, because you do hear these horror stories. What about your family and your son? What do they think of your Barbie look?
My son supports me. He writes me little birthday and Christmas messages on a piece of A4 paper, tells me he finds me inspirational because I come from a very underprivileged background. I didn't know my father. My mum was a single mum. We were like watched by the social services. I grew up in Merseyside and we didn't have anything. With what you've got, you're making a lot. So my family, I've had 3 family members die. My twin sister died a couple of years ago unexpectedly, my brother and my mother from cancer. So I've not really been one of these people having family normality. So they're not really someone I would say, what do you think? I think over the years, people, family or friends, they support me. They don't necessarily want to do it for themselves, but they say, hey, you look great for 50. Keep going.
Yeah. So this Barbie, it's your panacea. It's your way to deal with the pain and the tragedy in your life and make you feel better about it all.
People have put that view forward to me, and it's very possible.
Yeah.
But I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, so it's perhaps another form of therapy that works for you and makes you happy, and I suppose that's all that matters really for you.
Yeah. Very much so. Do what makes you happy. Find your happy place. You know, football supporters wear the same outfit of the team they support. They support the team. I'm Barbie. I'm a living fashion doll with Scarlett Entertainment. So I can engage with people and bring to life Barbie. That's about supporting the Barbie message, being Barbie as a real life doll. And now I've turned it professional. So I really want to engage with people to make their lives happy by just bringing them some fun. And if people want to read my book or if they want to read my Instagram posts and it inspires them, then I feel really good about that.
Yeah, and it's not just yourself. Your home, as we can see by the shot in front of us, everything's very pink.
Indeed. I live in a converted house. It's 100 years old, rather dusty. So I call it my Barbie in the dream house. I painted everything myself because I just love the whole conversion thing, you know, the transformation, not just with my face and body, but where I live. I'm very creative. So it's taken years to get everything pink the way I want it.
Yeah, well,
I love it.
It is very, very pink. But with every Barbie, sometimes there's a Ken. Do you have a Ken in your life?
No, I'm on the search for Ken. And since we've been in this difficult time, I won't use any technical words about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this difficult time that we're all going through, we're all in the same situation, adjusting. And I've gone back on Tinder and I've got a date on Wednesday with a guy that I went out with 14 years ago. And I've decided to put myself out there to find Ken, thanks to the whole lockdown. And just go for things like, you know, what I really want, everything. I want it all, but you have to work for it. So yeah, I think I've done a lot of groundwork for that. So yeah, I'm on the search for Ken, and who knows, you never know, I might meet Ken this year.
Yeah, well, you'll have to keep us posted on that one if it does happen. Ken in your dream home.
Very much so.
Rachel, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. It's been lovely to talk to you, and you stay safe.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Bye.
Bye-bye. Now we'll take a quick break, but when we come back, our very glamorous Agony Aunt joins us after the break.